Welcome to your learningzone.tv in association with Morton Michel. Exclusive training courses for Morton Michel customers. In this module, we're focusing on the food groups that toddlers need for their best nutrition. You can start and stop the training video whenever you like, and if you've missed something, just go back and play the video again. There are questions at the end which will help you check that you've understood the key points in the module, and don't forget to keep a record of the time you've spent here. This could count towards your continued professional development. So, this is the course on understanding food groups. This is a 3-part series. This is part 1 of 3. All the modules have been designed by our registered dietitian, Nigel Denby. This is what he looks like. And if he appears on your training slide, make a special note of the information on that slide. Now we're ready? Let's get started. Healthy eating for toddlers is all about balance. Balancing the food groups, balancing portion sizes, and balancing the frequency which some foods and drinks are served. Now you'll know very well that toddlers can eat better on some days than others. So all foods and drinks need to be as nutrient-packed as possible. Balanced nutrition for toddlers means meeting energy and nutrient requirements. That means you need to include a mixture of high-calorie foods and low-calorie foods. As we saw in healthy eating for toddlers, a balanced diet is needed to keep toddlers fit and healthy, and to make sure they receive all the energy and nutrients they need. Healthy eating involves combining food from all 5 food groups in appropriate proportions. This means toddlers need to eat foods which are high in calories, like white sauces and puddings, as well as foods which are low in calories but rich in nutrients, like vegetables. So let's have a look at the 5 main food groups in detail. Fruits and vegetables are nature's protective foods. They contain antioxidant vitamins and minerals to help protect toddlers, and also to help them grow and develop. Fruit and vegetables come in many different guises and should be served at every meal. Frozen vegetables often contain more vitamins and minerals than fresh. They're really convenient, and of course you'll have no wastage. It's a good idea to keep some cans of fruit in natural juice or vegetables in unsalted water. They're a really good standby. You can just pop them into soups, casseroles and pasta sauces. Now officially, fruit juice and fruit smoothies can be counted once as a serving towards a 5 a day for adults and older children. And this is because the sugar in fruit juice is more corrosive to teeth than the sugar in whole fruit. But remember, we recommend you only ever serve fruit juice to toddlers diluted 1 part juice to 10 parts water. At this level of dilution, you really can't count it towards a toddler's 5 a day. The protein food groups include meat, fish, poultry, eggs, and pulses, including beans and chickpeas and lentils. It also includes foods like dal and hummus. Toddlers have high needs for iron in their diet. Iron is needed to make healthy blood cells, and babies are born with a small supply of iron from their mother, but this runs out after about 6 months. That's why babies need to start weaning onto solid foods when they're 6 months old. Now, while red meat is the richest source of iron, non-meat eaters can also obtain their iron from pulses, fortified breakfast cereals and eggs if they eat them. Non-meat protein foods should always be served with a food or drink that contains vitamin C. That's because iron from non-meat food is less easily absorbed by the digestive system, and vitamin C helps the body absorb iron more efficiently. The starchy or complex carbohydrates are the main energy providers. They give toddlers a drip feed of energy between each meal. So starchy carbohydrates should be served at every meal. They are digested and broken down slowly to give the toddlers energy. Simple carbohydrates like sugar or honey provide lots of energy very quickly, so they don't need to be eaten that often. Starchy carbohydrates can also contain a lot of fibre. Now, toddlers do need some fibre in their diets, just like adults, but not as much. So you need to serve a mixture of whole grain and white breads, pasta and rice. Too much fibre in a toddler's diet and they'll get full up and lose their appetite, but not enough fibre can lead to constipation. So it's all a question of balance. Now, let's look at the milk and dairy products group. Milk and foods made from cow's milk are rich sources of protein, calcium and minerals. In the first year, almost all of a baby's nutrition comes from milk, whether that's breast milk or formula. And obviously this reduces as a toddler moves on to solid food. So as well as their milk drinks, toddlers need to be served 3 dairy foods, like cheese, custard or yogurt, each day. Foods high in sugar are often demonised by parents and the media. Now, we all know at some stage children are going to eat sweet foods, so they might as well do it with you. You can help them learn to balance them as part of a healthy diet and how to enjoy them appropriately as occasional treats. Banning toddlers from eating any sweet foods at all gives sweets an air of mystique and may even make them eat more in the long run. You've heard the expression, a kid in a candy store. Do remember some fatty foods like cheese include many important nutrients. We need to include these foods in a healthy diet while keeping an eye on portion sizes. Other fatty foods like crisps have little or no nutrients. Crisps should be treated in the same way as sugary foods and just kept for occasional treats. Now let's recap on the basics for balancing the food groups in a toddler's daily menu. A serving of fruit and vegetables need to be included at all meals throughout the day. Protein foods need to be served twice a day to children who eat meat, fish or poultry, and a vegetarian child needs 3 servings of vegetable protein each day. So that's 2 servings of protein for children who eat meat, fish or poultry, and 3 servings of protein for vegetarian children. Now, starchy foods need to be served at all meals to keep toddlers supplied with energy. And 3 servings of dairy food are needed in addition to any milk drinks. Some sweet foods can be served to help toddlers learn how to balance them in their diet. Food high in fat should also be served, but the emphasis should be on nutrient-dense, high-fat foods rather than fatty snacks. So, we've covered the basics. Now, in this module, we'll take starchy carbohydrates and then fruit and vegetables and look at them more closely. Starchy carbohydrates include bread, cereals and potatoes, as well as rice and pasta. This is a large food group with plenty of options for variety. Most starchy foods can be whole or refined. Toddlers need a mixture so they get some fibre for healthy digestion, but not too much fibre so they get too full and lose out on other nutrient-dense foods. So when planning your menus, remember, whether they're whole grain or white, starchy foods are quite filling. Too much of any food, though, will contribute to children becoming overweight. So make sure you get portion sizes correct. Portion sizes change as children grow. If you don't know what 90 grams of cooked pasta looks like, you should weigh it out once or twice until you get the right portion size by eye. So a serving for carbohydrates is as follows. For 1 to 3 years, bread is about half a slice. For breakfast cereal, 20 grams. For pasta, will be about 90 grams cooked weight. Rice, again, 90 grams cooked weight. And potatoes, 100 grams. So that's 1 to 3 years. Now, as your child gets older, 3 to 5 years, this increases. So for bread now, a serving size is 1 slice. Breakfast cereal is 30 grams. Pasta is 100 grams of cooked weight. Rice is 100 grams of cooked weight, and potatoes can rise from 100 to 120 grams. Why not print this out and pop it up in your kitchen? But there's one food group that most children are not likely to be eating enough of, and that's fruit and vegetables. Don't forget all the different ways you can help your toddlers get their 5 a day. Frozen, canned and dried varieties give you lots of scope for adding extra servings to many everyday recipes. It doesn't all have to be fresh fruit and veg. Although they are probably the easiest serving option, fruit juices and smoothies are not recommended for toddlers. They're too damaging to toddlers' teeth and should either be very highly diluted or kept for when children are older. When you plan meals, always make sure you plan in a vegetable or salad accompaniment to meals. Be specific about what the accompaniments are going to be. Green beans, cauliflower or carrots. And don't get stuck in a rut. Include fruit and veggies as snacks and as part of desserts. Most people in the UK don't eat anything like their 5 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. Lifelong eating habits are established in the early years, so you can really help toddlers to learn to love their veggies. Because they're full of starchy carbohydrate, from a nutritional point of view, potatoes don't fit into the fruit and veg group. Instead, they fit into the starchy carbohydrate group. To keep fruits and vegetables as healthy as possible, remember these key points. If you're serving canned fruit, always use fruit in natural juice. If serving canned vegetables, always use vegetables in unsalted water. And if serving dried fruit, only serve it as part of a meal and not on its own. This will help prevent the natural sugars in dried fruit from becoming stuck to toddlers' teeth. When it comes to planning your menu, toddler fruit and vegetable portions should be roughly half the size of an adult portion. That's about 40 grams per portion. Now, the size of your toddler's fist is about a portion size, and it's an easy way to get toddlers to count their own 5 a day. Don't forget, you can count all the vegetables that you add to a dish. So if you're making a pasta sauce, the onions, tomatoes, tomato puree, pepper, and the mushrooms all count. So having standard recipes which show the quantity of fruit or vegetables means you can easily calculate the number of fruit and veg portions you're serving to your toddler throughout the day. So a serving size for fruit and veg is as follows. For 1 to 3 years, you should be looking at, for cooked or canned vegetables or fruit, 40 grams, which is about a tablespoon. Raw fruit, you could look at 1 banana, 2 tangerines, or 40 grams of grapes. Dried fruit, but remember, serve as part of a meal, not in isolation. Only serve it as part of the meal or dessert. Fruit juice, serve diluted with water, 1 part juice to 10 parts water, and that will give you a rough guide. Now, as the child gets older, in 3 to 5 years, they remain the same. So again, it will be 40 grams of cooked or canned vegetables or fruit, which is about a tablespoon. In terms of raw fruit, again, 1 banana, 2 tangerines, so 40 grams of grapes. Dried fruit, only serve as part of a meal or dessert. And again, with fruit juice, serve diluted with water, 1 part juice to 10 parts water. Now, it's that time we all look forward to. It's question time. So it's the time to help you test and remind yourself of what you've covered in this module. Don't worry if you get any of the questions wrong. They're just designed to help you remember key facts. Just go back over the module again. So, best of luck. How many grams of fruit or vegetables are in a 1 toddler serving? Is it 30 grams, 40 grams, or 50 grams? How many grams of fruit or vegetables is in a 1 toddler serving? Is it 30 grams, 40 grams, or 50 grams? And the answer is 40 grams, half an adult serving. You can also use the size of a toddler's fist to represent one portion of fruit or vegetables. Next question. Why isn't it recommended to give toddlers lots of fibre? Is it because they'll get constipation, they'll get too full, or they'll get too many B vitamins? They'll get constipation, they'll get too full, or they'll get too many B vitamins. And the answer is they'll get too full. When toddlers eat too much fibre, they get full quickly and can miss out on other nutritious foods. So congratulations! You've now completed part 1 of 3 of our training course, Focus on Food Groups. You're now ready to move on to part 2 of the course. In the meantime, though, go back to www.yourlearningzone.tv for your next part of this course. Congratulations again, good luck and healthy learning. yourlearningzone.tv from Grub for Life, your learning partner.